Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Bailey Lipschultz with Katie Greifeld, and we're joined by Bloomberg News Deputy Team Leader for U.S. Equities, Jess Menton. Jess, a lot going on. What's top of the lineup for you?
Well, looking at the MOV function for the S&P 500, so top the leaderboard today, it's actually DataDog. So the ticker is DDOG. So, of course, one of Tom Keem's favorites, I'm sure. So this is a software provider, and it's actually rising on the back of a number of other companies that had reported results today, if you're looking at Snowflake, as well as MongoDB. But specifically with DataDog, if you look at this stock, up over 7% right now, on pace for its best day since July 3rd. And also looking at basically just on where it's been so far this year, basically gone nowhere, still down about 2%. So currently sits about 25% below its 52-week high, actually, and still holding near that 200-day moving average. So just to point out in perspective, DataDog joined the S&P 500 actually in early July. So hasn't been in the major index that long. So the stock's up, actually down roughly 4% since it did replace Juniper Networks. But if you look over at some of its peers too, Snowflake up over 20% right now, on pace for its best day since November 2024, and Snow is the ticker symbol on that. And if you look at MongoDB, MDB is the ticker, up 8% right now, on pace for its best day since actually yesterday.
Oh, there you go. And you particularly like the logo of this company.
I love the logo. If you haven't seen it, it's a puppy holding an image.
It really is, yeah.
When they went public, I remember I was like, am I allowed to get a t-shirt of this company logo? Because it's my favorite. But Jess, less fun, less software-y.
Unfortunate.
Hormel Foods?
Hey, yes. That's super fun.
Okay.
Maker of Spam,
yeah,
right?
Let's go.
And other deli meats. HRL is the ticker symbol, down more than 12%. So I had to double check this, but this looks like potentially, if this holds through the close, it would be its biggest one-day percentage drop on record if you look at data going back through Bloomberg since 1980 there. So tough year for Hormel, shed about 20% of its value so far in 2025. The reason for today, though, cost pressures are stinging some of those profits. So it posted a third quarter profit that missed estimates, and it cut its yearly guidance here. And then during the earnings call, the company talked about taking on targeted pricing actions there. And they're also expecting that the profit recovery to still lag here next year as well. So if you look over at Jen Bartashis at Bloomberg Intelligence, so one of our top strategists that covers this corner of the market, she was talking about how margin and profits will likely still remain pressured in the fourth quarter on elevated pork and beef prices here. So if you look at the A&R function, 3 buys, 8 holds, 1 sell.
All right, man, hate to see those elevated pork and beef prices there. Let's talk about something totally different, and that is Bath and Body Works. I know you're keeping an eye on that company. I have to say, I always get them confused with Bed Bath & Beyond.
I know, I was going to say, because usually that's one of course, Bailey's favorites when it comes to Bed Bath & Beyond. But this is Bath & Body Works, so BBWI is the ticker symbol on this. So down almost 8%, so on pace for its worst day since April 10th earlier this year. So, of course, specialty retailer, body care products. It actually cut its outlook, so it lowered the top end of its sales growth range forecast for the full year. It also said it expects tariffs to hurt gross profits by roughly $85 million. And then this is a company, it's not in the S&P 500, it's in the Russell 1000 index. It's also actually in the S&P 400 mid-cap index. Its market cap is around $6 billion. So if you're looking at basically where it is so far this year, it's lost about a quarter of its value so far, guys.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.